everybody, and welcome to Blue Jays Today, where we always got something to say about the Toronto Blue Jays. I am your host, Adam Patron.
And I'm your host, Nicholas Blaylock. And today, guys, we got so much to talk about. Is Kevin Kiermaier that guy? Alek Manoah, are there concerns, and should we be worried long-term? And Guerrero, he wants to commit long-term, and apparently there were conversations, so much Toronto Blue Jays news that we need to get into, guys.
Time for a quick shout out to Betway. Betway is the best place to make all of your sports bets on all of your favorite teams. Betway is also in collaboration with iGaming Ontario. Must be 19 years older to participate. And guys, please bet responsibly. Now, back to the content.
We are going to start with Kevin freaking Kiermaier, baby.
Yeah, baby. Kevin Kiermaier. I mean, if y'all watched that home opener, he got that post-game interview, and he got the crowd on their feet multiple times. First of all, with a home run, stealing catch in center field with that new low wall. You were there.
Let me tell you.
Tell me.
Let me tell you. I had the perfect view, guys. I was in the 100s. I was very close to that new lower wall of the bullpen where so many balls were flying. That's got to be its own entire video, just talking about how many home runs we were going to hit into the. And you know what's so beautiful? It's in the opposing team's bullpen.
Right.
You know, so like they get to watch the entire thing. But I was right there. I got the perfect angle. That thing, the entire crowd, we knew that it was gone the whole way.
Right.
We knew it was gone the whole way.
Oh, everyone knew. Even watching, you're like, oh, this is gone.
And
over.
even when he jumped up and he went there, I still thought it was gone.
Right.
Until he came back and started showing the glove.
Oh,
it was
my God.
insanity, man. The amount of hype that he elicited from me, from the crowd, from everybody, it was electric. I never ever thought when we signed Kevin Kiermaier that I would be getting that excited.
I know.
Like based on what he's doing, but what he's done on the field has been electric.
I know. And then to finish off that game, he gets the game-tying home run, and then obviously Springer after with the go-ahead homer, and then those Blue Jays the rest of the way.
And this is also on top of the 5 RBI game that he had on Sunday.
And also just off the field too, like the way he interacts with the media, even the post-game interview, like I don't know if he stuck around for that.
I watched it, man.
Yeah.
The way that he was talking about the Blue Jays, guys, the way that he was talking about this team, you know that he wants to be there.
Yeah.
And he believes in them too. He believes in us.
Just think about being Kevin Kiermaier. Okay, look, not saying the Rays are a bad team. They've obviously been a very good team with Kevin Kiermaier on it.
Elite, yeah.
Very good. But they never seem to get over the hump. So when you go over from Tampa Bay Rays to Toronto Blue Jays, where we seem like we've got the team to get over that hump, and he's not a major contributor in terms of the bat, at least he's not supposed to be.
Yeah.
And so the pressure's off him. He can just go out there, have fun. Like, he doesn't have to be a superstar, Kevin Kiermaier. He can go play his game, and he's playing it really well right now.
He's playing it exceptionally, guys. And I think that we can all admit that really we didn't expect this. Right now, he's got a 362 or 382, excuse me, batting average. I guess he hasn't taken a walk yet.
No.
382 on base as well. Really good slugging, which is something that you don't expect from him. Like he is not a slugging guy, and a 971 OPS. This is all like way higher than anything that he's done in his career.
Right.
So all of that leads us to the question, is Kevin Kiermaier gonna be that guy? And let me preface this right now. When we're talking about that guy, I think of who also was that amazing one-year signing that we got that we didn't expect to be as elite as he was gonna be.
What do you think about? You're talking about Marcus Semien.
I'm thinking about Marcus Semien. Is he gonna be that guy? The guy where it's like you sign him and he fucking explodes.
Well, I don't think he's gonna be Marcus Semien level. I mean, it's really hype. I'm not trying to like throw shade at Kevin Kiermaier. I love him as a player, but I'm not going to, overreact over 11, 12 games when this comes out. Didn't think that Kevin Kiermaier is going to put up a Marcus Semien year because he's never been able to put up that much power.
45 home runs is a lot of home runs.
Exactly. And if you look over at his baseball savant, it will tell you, look, the barrel's low, the exit velocity's low, the expected batting average is high. Look, he could be a nice slapper, like a nice little slap you. Maybe he hit for a high average down in that 9th spot. Absolutely, he could do that. Maybe he has a career year for Kevin Kiermaier with the glove and with the batting average, but if the definition of that guy is like Marcus Semien level, then no. He's going to be that guy, Kevin Kiermaier, fan favorite, great defense, great bat, and a great guy. Great personality, too.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, you know what? Maybe I set the bar a little high. Maybe I set the bar a little high with that guy because being that Marcus Semien level, I mean, Marcus Semien's finished, I think, 3rd in MVP votes, so that really is like
that guy. Yeah,
you know, and I don't expect Kevin Kiermaier to continue batting 382, you know, into August or anything like that. What I do expect, well, maybe not what I do expect, but what I think I'm seeing right now is the potential for Kevin Kiermaier to be the best 9th hitter in all of MLB.
Right.
I actually
just
believe
with the bat or with like everything.
With everything, you know, maybe like the overall player. This is looking like he could be the best bottom of the lineup guy in all of MLB, right? Because what he's been able to contribute, he does look locked in at the plate. He's been able to come up clutch. The presence that he's providing right now in the dugout and just in the interviews and just everything, that is something that you don't see on the stat line, but it is a contributor and that can catch, man.
I know, it's
like
exciting.
What he can do
It's exciting.
and how he governs the outfield defense and even the infield defense too. How he governs that defense is incredible. So I would go so far to say that there is potential right now for Kevin Kiermaier to far exceed expectations and be that guy at the 8 and 9 hole. You know?
I mean, well, it's a final note on Kevin Kiermaier for me. Guess who has the exact same WAR as him this early in the season? Any guess of any big player last year?
Is it a Blue Jay?
It's not. It's a New York Yankee.
Judge.
Him and Kiermaier have the exact same WAR.
Shut up.
As of recording this podcast.
Kevin Kiermaier, 63 home runs this season, baby. That guy.
I love it. I love it. All right, let's move on a little bit to maybe a lesser positive talk. Maybe there's some positive talk. Maybe you're going to shine some light on this. But there is a little bit of concern right now going on with the entire Blue Jays rotation. But in particular, the ace, the guy we're considering the ace, and that is Alek Manoah. Should we be concerned about Alek Manoah's struggles this early into the season? Because this opening day start, he didn't do that well.
No.
He did good against the Kansas City Royals, but didn't have complete command. Didn't have complete command, but then you really saw in the home opener just not a lot of command, and lucky that he only gave up 3 runs. Are you concerned with this start from
I got a lot of thoughts about this, but the first thing, and it's a question to you.
Yeah.
I was at the game for the Blue Jays home opener, so even though I was watching it happen, you can't see
the pitches.
on the, like you think that like that's a ball, you think that's a strike, but you don't know exactly where it is. Where was it?
Not close. It was not close. For the first few innings, at least, it was not close. Like the slider wasn't competitive at all the entire night. It was missing 1.5 feet, 2 feet outside the zone. No one was swinging at it. So then later on, I saw him start to make mid-game adjustments. So credit to him, where he dropped the slider and just stuck with the sinker fastball. Then he was able to shut it down a bit more. But even then, still a lot of command issues. That's been the big note for him. And a lot of people are saying the narrative, maybe it's because of the bright lights. Like, how much do you factor, quote unquote, the bright lights into his command issues?
I think that's definitely a narrative that can be spun, right? Because this is the first time that he's ever been the season opener and then also the home opener, right? This never happened before. But I also think that how much can we factor into that? Because Alek Manoah, like, dude, this guy was ready to drop the mitts against Garrett Cole last year.
Right.
And you know what I mean? It's like how much brighter does it get than that? Like, he's literally ready to fight this man, you know? So I feel like Manoah, he's ready for that heat. You know, he's already been in that. So I don't really think that there's too much weight to that narrative. I think, honestly, what needs to be talked about more right now, and this is what was concerning to me, was why is the velo down on all of the pitches? Why is the velo down on all of them?
Yeah, you got it right here, guys. It's something we noticed right before we started recording, and we kind of noticed while we're watching the games too. Like, you look at 2022, 94, 82, 87 on all those pitches, and all of them are down a mile per hour or two.
Yeah.
You know, his off speed down 2 and his fastball down 1. Is it an early season where I'm still warming up thing?
Right.
Could very well be.
Could be, yeah.
Could very well be, but I don't know. There's the thing. I'm not a professional pitcher, so I have no idea.
Yeah.
Like, is it that? Is there a pitch clock thing? I don't know. Is it the bright lights?
Yeah.
Whatever it is, Alek Manoah and the Blue Jays coaching staff know the answers. But I have confidence that he's going to find his way at some point as the season progresses. I'm not too worried because this is the first, honestly, I thought about this the other day. This is the first, quote unquote bad stretch of 3 games, even though he had 7 innings of scoreless earned run ball in that stretch. But like just in terms of the way he looks, it's a bad stretch.
I'm 100% not worried in the slightest for long-term things. I guess I want to know what it is. I'm not sure because why is the velo down? Are you hurt? Is there something that we don't know about?
Like, yeah,
is it because is the velo down because you don't have the command, so you're not fully committing? You know what I mean?
Try to aim and
exactly.
locate?
Like where are we at right now? And is that because of the bright lights? Right? Like these are all the questions that again we don't know because this is a fan-based baseball podcast, right? I mean, maybe if I was Pete Walker, I would know the answers. I'm not worried long term. I do expect him to find it. We saw pictures last year, where it's like they were bad for like 2 months and then they turned it around. Robbie Ray is a great example, right? He was rough for a little while and then 100% turned it around and brought those Seattle Mariners into the playoffs, you could argue, right? I'm not worried about Alek Manoah in the slightest. I want him to figure it out sooner rather than later because I am worried about Jose Barrios and Yusei Kikuchi. Those guys are absolutely big worries for me. So in that regard, I want you to figure it out. But I think that he's going to be fine long term.
You know what we need? We need to get like Pete Walker to call in and be like, hey, so what's the conversation with Alek Manoah? That's what we need.
I would like that. Shout out to Pete Walker. I'll give you my phone number if you want to call in.
Absolutely. So you can dispel all these narratives before we start to create like nonsense. You know what I mean?
Let's talk about the last piece of Blue Jays news that we wanted to get to in this podcast. Guerrero extension, obviously been on the minds of everybody for quite some time. And this is the first time that I think in the entire tenure of Vladimir Guerrero Jr. that we have 100% definitive proof that the Toronto Blue Jays and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. got in a room, talked about it. Eventually, it did not work out. But at the very least, they got to the table. They got to the table. And I think this is time, like there is definitely a clock ticking on this. Because I was telling my dad about this literally last night when we were at the home opener. Not a whole lot of Guerrero time left if you really think about it.
3 years. 3 years. However, you do look around the league and you see people like Jose Ramirez. He waited quite a bit before that big extension. Rafael Devers waited about 2 years before, the last 2 years before his extension. So maybe that's a thing that you're seeing nowadays from a lot of players that are like, okay, well, like I know I'm a pretty good talent here. Like my agent's telling me to wait because as you get on further, teams get more desperate. Maybe and you'll get better. Right. So let's maximize your value here. And look, Guerrero wants to stay with the team. I don't need to say that any louder. Like he's already said it literally on Sportsnet with Hazel May. And in that regard, like that he's announcing it on Sportsnet also gives me a little bit of confidence that Sportsnet owned by Rogers. Like Rogers be the one paying him, so they obviously want that narrative to come to light. They wouldn't have aired it if it wasn't something that they wanted. So for me, I'm not worried about them not getting it done. It's just a matter of when.
No, I completely agree, man. At the end of the day, he wants to get it done. The Jays want to get it done. They know how valuable it is. I was looking at the jerseys that was I was just kind of people watching for a second there. You're looking at 75% of the jerseys these days worn by Blue Jays fans are Vladimir Guerrero 100%. Jr. They know how valuable he is to this city and the team, right? It's like he's got that impact. They are going to pay him his money. It is just a matter of when, how much. The one thing that they need to avoid is pissing him off. Don't
disrespect.
Exactly.
Oh, what are you gonna say?
Don't pull a Brian Reynolds. Don't pull a Brian Reynolds, right? It's like this guy is elite.
Yeah,
he deserves. Like if you were offering him, $200 million or less than $200 million, then honestly, I'm with Guerrero. Walk, bro.
I know.
Walk.
I know.
It needs to be 300 plus. It's got to be probably double-digit years,
100%.
And you got to commit to this guy and say, like, hey, you're going to be the face of Blue Jays in Canada for a decade.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
And are you concerned, I have a couple notes on this, but are you concerned about the price? Do you think that Rogers can pay like a really big price? Or do you think that Vlad's going to ask for a really big price? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
So here's the thing, man. 2 years ago, you asked me that. I say, absolutely. I'm worried about the price. I don't want to go crazy. But I think that Rogers is at the exact same place where I am right now. They look at what he's done. They look at what he's capable of. And they say, you know what? We know that you're the guy. At this point, I'm convinced. I I guess anyone can pull a Jose Barrios. You know what I mean? Like anyone can fool us.
Right.
But realistically, like we've done enough research right now. We like you. We like what you bring to the clubhouse. We like what you bring to the team. And damn, your bat is good.
Exactly.
I'm more than confident to give him really whatever it is that it takes, because you need to have a guy that you build the team around. And Vladimir Guerrero Jr., he is that guy.
Yeah, and I don't think it's going to take an ungodly number either, like 400, 500 million. I think it straight up could be something similar to Devers, because if you think about it too, like he's coming from a very wealthy background already with his father. He's going to have his brothers who are going to hit the major leagues maybe one day.
Yeah.
I don't really think money is a concern. I think it's more about the way he wants to live his life, and the where he wants to live and play is right here in Toronto, folks. So I'm not concerned. Let's get it done.
11, 12 years, 350 million.
Done. Easy.
Lock it
Easy.
in, baby.
Easy. Guys, let us know in the comments down below about everything that we talked about in this video. Kevin Kiermaier, Alek Manoah concerns, and of course that Vladimir Guerrero Jr. extension, folks.
Yeah, also $3 a month become a Patreon member. Shout out and thank you to every single one of these current Patreon members, and also our YouTube members too. You guys are not forgotten. You're all awesome.
Guys, thank you so much for watching.
And go Jays go!